Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Isaac Yepes with the UTEP College Republicans, and we are here today with TylerPreston20, everybody's black friend, their best black friend, because, well, you only have one probably.
Of course.
How are you, man?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we were just talking about the Democrats kind of losing their minds, but I saw on your Twitter handle that you're a liberal. So does that not necessarily make you a Democrat, or
No. Like when I say that basically when I say that I'm a liberal, that means I'm left-leaning. Like I believe in the principles of free speech, and I think that the social justice warriors that go on college campuses are just against that kind of principle. I believe people should say whatever they want to say as long as it's not incite violence. I also believe in stuff like, freedom of religion. I think people should practice whatever faith they want to practice. And I also believe that the government should not, force like itself into private lives. Like, for example, I don't think the government should tell people what to put in their body or what to own. And I think that a lot of the stuff, I think social change could be a good thing. And so that's why I think that stuff like women's rights and also the civil rights movement, that kind of stuff, help push society forward. So when I say that I'm a liberal, that means I believe in liberal principles and that I lean left. I don't associate with the Democrats at all.
Oh crap. Go for it.
But basically, I think the Democrats, like, they have been really corrupt. Like, as of lately, you saw the stuff with, like, Clinton, how all the leak emails just happened. And so there's just definitely some sort of level of corruption. Also, not to mention the fact that the Democrats had help with the KKK in the past. So I'm kind of like, okay, I don't want to support this kind of party because of that past.
Yeah, and what's weird is anything that's bad in history usually gets thrown on the right wing. But lately, there's been a lot of stuff coming out about the KKK because I think social media is capturing more people talking about it.
Right. Like, basically, they're trying to get as many, like, Nazi images and pictures as much as possible. Like, there was, like, Sarah Silverman who stopped, like, a fucking, like, a construction sign. It was, like, it was the Nazi symbol, and, like, I'm like, oh my god, are you stupid? Like, you cannot be serious. Like, that's a freaking construction sign. And so everybody started to see everything as Nazi symbols. Like, if you disagree with a social justice warrior, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, and whatever. Like, I cannot believe that they're trying to trivialize the word Nazi to mean like anybody that's disagree with you.
Yeah, the other day, actually, I saw this fitness thing, and their little logo was this silhouette running like sideways.
Right.
And it kind of looked like a swastika, and I was like, this out, like, hey, their own gyms now. And just to see if I could get a rise out of her, but I don't think she would notice me.
Of course, man. But it's just like, I think people are just so paranoid right now because they look at Trump and they think that he's actually intimidating, when I don't think he's as intimidating like they're trying to make him out to be. Like, the whole entire Hitler and also comparison to Trump, that is just stupid. Like, he is nowhere near like Adolf Hitler at all. Like, I mean, I guess he could be like a authoritarian at times. Like, more recently, he started to talk about weed in his speech and how he might want to crack down on marijuana. I mean, he's a little bit authoritarian, but he's not like Adolf Hitler. That's not any kind of comparison. He doesn't have any kind of Mein Kampf. He doesn't have any plans to eliminate the Jews. And matter of fact, he actually speak out against anti-Semitism. So where is this comparison of like Trump being Adolf Hitler come from?
Yeah. What I find really weird is that the left is very sensitive to racial issues, even if they're not there. And one of the things that they've kind of thrown under the bus is Jewish people, because anybody who says like, hey, maybe Palestine's kind of guilty in this whole thing with Israel too, they're like, you're a Zionist pig. And it's like, whoa.
It's very strange because I think like if you compare like Israel to Palestine, I think that, obviously you want to support Israel over Palestine because Basically, like it does not have as much problems because like Palestine is run by a large population of radical Muslims compared to like a country like Israel, which actually has democracy there. So it makes more logical sense to me, at least, to support Israel over Palestine. It
Yeah,
just doesn't make any sense that a lot of the radical left groups wanted to support Palestine over Israel, if you were to ask me.
yeah, and especially since they're so interventionist most of the time, it's like, wait, well, wouldn't Israel be a natural ally because they could actually give us a foothold there? I mean, I believe in isolationism, but uh, just looking at the consistency of their worldview, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. These guys should be like your best friends, I think.
I mean, it does. It kind of makes sense in a way that they're against Jews, and the reason why I say that is because like there are some black supremacist group that actually hate Jews because they're Jews. Like groups like the New Black Panthers that actually say we hate Jews, we're the original Jews, or like other kind of groups. I forgot the name of it. Like
Is it the something of Israelite? Or
yeah, the Israelites. Yes.
guys. Have you watched their videos?
Oh yeah, it's like, hey, what's up, dog? Get out, or something.
Yeah, that's America.
Yes.
You're like, whoa, fuck. And it's like a little kid like walking around with his ice cream. He's like, who are they? Like, fuck you, white slave. And it's like, oh, damn. I gotta hand it to him though. Like, they're very charismatic.
Oh yeah, but still, like the amount of racial crap that he just spilled out is just ridiculous. Just it's so strange how it's so acceptable to just hate white people just because they're white. Like this idea from these groups, like they say that black people cannot be racist because of prejudice and power. Like, are you serious? Like, you can be prejudiced against a person because of their skin color, and so that's why you could be racist towards other races. And so the idea that black people just cannot be racist is racist itself.
Yeah, and I think what's dangerous about that is that it takes away agency from the individual based on their skin color. It says, oh, well, you don't have the capability of actually believing in this kind of ideology or something because, well, you're too dark, and therefore you're unable to do certain things. And it's just it seems counterintuitive to say we need to be more equal, but they're definitely not equal.
That's funny because like if you actually tend to like think differently or lean right as a black person, you get called like Uncle Tom, house nigger, or coon simply for disagreeing with them. Like there are some videos where I criticize like Black Lives Matter and black supremacist group, and almost every single time, whether it's on my video comment section or on Twitter, I get called those awful names. Every single time. Like they say that they're for social justice, yet they tend to demonize and dehumanize the people that they claim to fight for.
Yeah, well, it's social justice, except when you disagree with me, then fuck you.
Yeah, like in the past, you could say like social justice, like with Martin Luther King, like those kind of people, it was actually meant to be a good thing. It actually was good. But somehow the radicals made it like something else that is actually completely different than what social justice used to be.
Mm-hmm. Earlier, we were talking about what it is to be liberal, and you mentioned social change could actually be a good thing. On that note, do you think assimilation is inherently a bad thing, or is it a good thing?
I think there are some cultures that can assimilate better than other cultures. Like, I don't think like a lot of cultures that come directly from the Middle East, I don't think they could actually assimilate better compared to like Chinese cultures or Indian cultures. And so I think certain cultures can assimilate better than other cultures. However, I don't think we need to reject people just because they're from a different country.
Yeah, actually, I had a discussion with one of my professors earlier, and he was saying that it's not right to ask people to assimilate or imply that they need to assimilate in order to succeed in a certain culture because it's making them lose their identity. Do you?
No. I don't agree with him. Like, I think that like there are definitely like cultures that brought their cultures but assimilate at the same time. Like with the Italians, they brought over like their food, like the pizza and the spaghetti, like the Chinese also brought their culture and, brought the Chinese food and also, become law-abiding citizens. So it's possible to bring some culture into another country while also simulating at the same time.
Yeah, it went into like this really weird tangent. Because
I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up right now. You're breaking up. Oh, God. You're breaking up right now. Oh my God. He actually broke up right now. I'm gonna wait for him until he actually comes back. Okay. Oh, God. Hello?
holy crap, that was so awful.
Yeah, no problem, dude. That's okay.
Where was I? The Constitution, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so then, is it to be an American? And out of impulse, I just said, just follow the Constitution and pretty much to do to be an American. And he said, well, the Constitution. It was a bunch of white men. Basically, what you're saying is it is possible in order to be an American. And I was like, what? And then, 6 other people pretty much agreed with him. Back to me, we were on like point Z.
That's crazy. Like, I think that again, I think that anybody could come to America and assimilate to the culture, and as long as they actually, contribute to society, they can have their culture, but also abide by the rules and the customs when they come to this country. I think it's entirely possible.
Yeah, and I was trying to say that assimilation isn't just a one-way street. People bring their own stuff to the culture, and that's why they still consider us melting pot generally.
Right.
But the Marxist or the cultural Marxist Kool-Aid, because there was just no arguing with it. I was like, well, I mean, yeah. So what do you think of cultural Marxism, by the way?
I think like the whole idea of cultural Marxism, it might have some merit because before like the whole entire gender studies stuff, like it was not as crazy, I guess, as it is now. Like it started, I think, back in the 1930s, 1940s by the Frankfurt School, if I'm correct. And then later on, they started to import that kind of ideas within like gender studies classes and African American studies and intersectionality. So I think that there's definitely some sort of merit for cultural Marxism.
Do you think it harms a nation at all to start diversify the culture, and or what's your take on having these intersectional feminist studies, these I guess African American culture or
My personal opinion is that,
studies
like,
and Chicano studies and all those?
yeah, my personal opinion is that if they want to have such classes, they should advertise it as feminist studies. Like, if they really want to have that kind of class, I mean, I would prefer it not to be there at all because I think they're kind of misinforming people with misinformation. But if they have to have that kind of class, just call it feminist studies.
Mm-hmm. It, problem with intersectionality is just bunk. Because feminism has nothing to do with race. God, do you think there's a defense?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up right. You're kind of breaking up right now.
Okay. Can you? Am I coming through now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
What if it cuts
I'm
out?
sorry about the.
No, it's all good.
We can't seem to ever find consistent signal to save our lives.
Yeah, public university, right?
We're paying for this.
If we cut out one more time, would you mind rescheduling?
Sure.
Okay, just in case, because we had to do the same thing with roaming millennial. Crap, I lost my train of thought.
you were talking about like.
Wait, hold on, I can't hear everybody at once. What's up?
You were talking about like the gender studies and what you thought about it, intersectionality, and how it does not, relate to race. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's an argument for intersectionality though?
No, I don't. I don't believe so. Like, you cannot really connect feminism with race because feminism is about, at least what it originally used to be, about women's rights, whereas intersectionality is completely different. Like, race is actually irrelevant in regards to the course of discussion for feminism.
And something I've noticed is that we are definitely a multiracial society, but I don't necessarily believe that we're a multicultural society as much as it's being pushed on us because there's still a definite American culture. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we're actually like a multiracial society because we have white people, we have Black people, Hispanics, Asians, Pacific Islanders, and I think that our culture is like a combination of different cultures, but some things remain the same, which is our principles.
Yeah, and I love the name that they just give all of us now. It's just people of color.
Yeah, like the whole entire idea or like the term of people of color, it's almost like colored people like they used in the past to me. Because I don't see any difference between the two terms.
I honestly think we should just go back to calling ourselves coloreds and just see you know?
Sure. Like, if they could use people of color, why not just color?
Right. And, just shorten it. And then I really like using the term POC because they're like, what's a POC? I'm like, person of color. And then like they get real POC, you're making it sound stupid. I'm like, exactly.
I think there was like some sort of episode, I forgot what show it was, but it was like a show by that guy that created like the King of Hills and made the exact same joke about people of color.
Damn it. Yeah, Mike Judge. I really want to have like a jacket or something that just says like take coloreds back. But like in quotations, that way they know it's the word, not the people.
Right. It would be a fun jacket, actually.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get beat up and it's robbed.
They cannot beat you because you're Hispanic, so.
Yeah, I'm certified POC, so I should be safe. I know like 12 words in Spanish, so I mean, I'm a pretty good Hispanic. Times You know, I had a taco once. It wasn't that great, but I liked it. You know?
Like the one from Taco Bell, or like
Hey, I like Taco Bell. Don't be hitting on Taco Bell. I don't care if it's not real Mexican. I like it.
No, we have this thing over here in El Paso called Chico's Tacos, and
Beautiful.
and it is one of the worst things that you'll ever have in your life.
No.
Yeah,
Listen to him.
Chico's is the best.
It's the best.
it's probably the worst. It's like government grade cheese, like surplus grade cheese, and then like the soupy thing, and then
I don't
like
soup.
above all of it, like in a little ship, is tacos, and it's if I think there's videos of people from out of town watching it or eating it, and it's just like they don't know what to do with it. They're like, "What is this?" And there's people like, "It's good, it's good." They're like, "Nah, dude, that's not food."
yeah, I only had like Taco Bell, which is not really like real Mexican food. And I also tried like Chipotle, but I never had like Chico's because we don't have Chico's in Maryland.
Yeah, well, Chipotle counts. You heard it here from a Hispanic. So they can't. Yeah.
They can't work.
So what you can do is like anytime there's I guess like a disagreement with what the Latinos think, you can be like, hey, I know a guy who I'm pretty sure is Hispanic, and he said it's okay, so it's fine. Yeah, so you can always play that one. So does food actually play a part in normalizing a different culture that's coming into a certain country?
Yeah, like I think food is what brings people together. Like when you start sharing different foods from different places, you can actually have a good conversation. You can get along with people, and you can try different flavors, like, you know, the taco stuff or nachos, burritos, all that stuff from Mexico. And then you could try like Italian stuff and Chinese stuff, and like all the stuff that makes America America is because of the immigration. It's because they share all their recipes and their culture and assimilate it within that culture.
Yeah, and we get it all cheap here too. I mean, it's like you can get a full plate, like a full dinner plate with rice and beans and enchiladas or whatever, and then something else, and it's like $4.
What?
Yeah.
I
It's insane.
need to go to El Paso then.
It's, I mean, you're losing money if you're not eating 8 times a day. So, speaking of really cheap Mexican food, California has been talking about trying to suspect a lot of it's coming from the southern. They're a little more liberal from what I know. So do you know anything about them, Deed?
I don't really. I never went to California. I heard that they had this one pizza place where like you have different ingredients for pizzas, and that's the only kind of thing I heard from California.
Oh man, I was in LA once, and it was either Pasadena or LA, whatever. Their food is like comparable to El Pasoan food in terms of price. If you go to the cat place like right down the street and some shady looking dude selling teas at the gas station, like it's like $5, maybe $6, but that's because I think they make more over there. All nothing really. You go to like a decent restaurants. It's the
Not that bad.
yeah,
Like,
whatever. But do you think
how did we get the food actually?
Oh, do you think they have a legit case to go through this session though, or do you think it'll even make it to their lost him again.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, we're breaking up. It says
Shit just wasn't gonna work out.
something good going, and I ruined it.
Okay, it's working right now.
It's working now.
Yes.
Video quality.
Oh, it did? Okay. Do you think it's after peak hours?
Maybe. I think so.
Okay. My bad. If anything, we could probably do this. I don't know. Tomorrow, because it's always dead on Fridays.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Just turn on your video quality.
Okay. We will resume tomorrow. I'm so sorry about this. Let me just end the broadcast real quick.